Round of applause for our country director. And it's now my pleasure to invite the representative of Council of Governors to...
Thank you very much, Emmanuel, to our chief guest, Honorable Musalia Mudavadi, the Chief Cabinet Secretary, our CS for Education, the country representative for WAP, Lauren, colleagues in government. On behalf of the Council of Governors, we are deeply indebted for being invited to with the WAP for the last 10 years with the support to the county governments and also to the Council of Governors in terms of capacity, in terms of understanding the issues to do with risk management, the issues to do with the management of relief, and also the capacity building which has gone to the county government. We say thank you to WAP. And the Council of Governors is committed to relieve our people of the pain they go through when we have calamities, but also looking forward in terms of creating resilience communities within our counties and being able to have better livelihoods. So I wish as well in this conference as we continue to partner. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's now my pleasure to invite Honorable CS Education for his opening remarks. And also
the county director of World Food Program and all the participants here this morning. Good morning. Good morning once again. Your Excellency, before I say anything, I want to introduce the principal secretaries who are here. We have Mutari from Ministry of Labor, State Department of Social Protection. Those of you who don't know, we have the Chief of Staff in His Excellency, the Prime Cabinet Office, Cabinet Secretary's office is here with us. My friend of many years, when I served here in Mombasa, he was the Managing Director of Kenya Port. And the people here, we have representatives from World Food Program. We have various other partners here, and we have senior officers of Kenya government drawn from almost each and every sector. Each and every government ministry is represented here, Your Excellency. And since yesterday, we have had a discussion on various other issues. Of course, of priority and of great importance to any government is that first and foremost, we must provide food. We are here, the mayor had something very good since yesterday, they have had something very good since this morning. Our country is faced with one very serious problem because we have suffered over the years, 60 years of independence, but we are still suffering from persistent food insecurity. So one of the major discussions we have had with the climate change, the resilience and the various measures that we have discussed, one way, including to our refugees in Kakuma, in Dadaab. Is it really the way to go in this 21st century, or we require a paradigm shift? Do we require some kind of earthquake? And the people here were saying, I think we require to do something, not the way it has been done before, but in a different way for sustainable development and to ensure that we are food secure as a country. We said yes, we have been giving food relief to our communities, particularly in ASA areas. Even once after a while, like what we faced in this country from last year, it extended to quite a number of people, because almost 7 million of our Kenyan brothers and sisters were affected by the very severe famine that we had. So, Your Excellency, we said, changing lives will save lives. But how do you change lives? And they were saying, when we saw the curve, for those who did economics, you know, to me it was a curve, but because we are next to Indian Ocean, they decided to use some other terminology. I was asking a wave to flatten the wave, because the curve was moving. Sometimes we are improving, sometimes we are actually really going down. How do we flatten it? Certain efforts and tangible action has to be taken in order for us in the Indian Ocean. And from each and every department, Your Excellency, we said, Kenyans, we are very good in talking. We are very good in coming up with various wonderful recommendations, but our very serious weakness, Your Excellency, as my friend, the Deputy Director, is here. When we were in Rwanda, the Rwandans were telling us, you know, Kenyans, we don't generate them on our own, but I think you have a problem with implementation. And we said, because even internal security, which is the coordinating ministry, is also here, that this particular meeting will not be in vain, that we should be able to give reports. What is it that we have done? Consider World Food Program, as we thank them for what they have done in each and every sector, because their assistance spans almost in each and every sector, not only in the school feeding program in education, but again, they say the key one now to assist us in much more meaningful ways, because like education, how can it be that smallholder farms in those areas that we are giving food, that they can be able to do a little bit of agricultural activities, farming, such that we are able to empower them. Building capacity and strengthening communities, how is it that we can be able to do it in a manner that really we can be able to change this country, such that we don't do things the way we have been doing. The Commissioner for Refugees was here. He gave and Madam that yes, from camps, Your Excellency, and extra county schools. So we said, how can they be integrated with the host communities in a way that they are settlements, not camps, because definitely it's a program that will be with us for quite a number of years to come. So, Your Excellency, very good recommendations have been done here. The challenge for me and the participants who have been here since yesterday is, how can it be that we can change our mindset? You know, I always say what His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, tells us, that yes, to move in a deliberate, intentional, and practical way in order for us to be able to change our great country, Kenya. Your Excellency, your coming is actually underscores the importance of this partnership with the World Food Program. It really underscores the importance that the Kenya government attaches to this very good collaboration, which we have said, I think, with the G2, we must take it to another level. We were discussing with the Madam and saying now, but another time. With those many remarks, kindly be upstanding as we welcome His Excellency, the Prime Cabinet Secretary, to come.
Okay, please be. Okay. I don't know whether it's still good morning. Yes, it is. Just about to end. Good morning, everybody. Okay. I'll go straight into the speech. And I was very careful. I insisted it must be written because I don't want to make a mistake here. Okay. My colleague, the CS Minister of Education, Honorable Machogu, Madame Lorraine Landis, present today, all public officials, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. I am honored to join you in this workshop on the launch of Government of Kenya WFP priority identification under the UN World Food Programme, Kenya Country Director Lauren Landis, following the approval of Kenya's Country Strategy Plan 2023-2024 by your Executive Board. This commitment is indeed timely. It brings a considerable investment of United States dollars 1.4 billion into our country at a time when we are undergoing serious economic disorder and challenges. The Cabinet Secretary for National Treasury, Professor Njuguna Ndung'u, for their involvement on behalf of the Kenyan government. They were in Rome only last week to support this process in the true spirit. The importance the government of Kenya attaches to this partnership is demonstrated by representatives of government agencies and the Council of Governors in this session. This is also a demonstration of Kenya government's commitment to work as one under the whole of government approach, spearheaded by my office, for us, sanctified and capacitified silo mentality in public service won't do. We must discard the silo mentality. We must work as one. Over the years, the meeting today is a testament that WFP works closely with government at all levels, incorporating our thoughts, ideas, and preferences from county to national. An example of how open government, another approach we are impacting in public service, should work. Open government requires consultation and participation in decision-making by the private sector to interplay the two, whole of government and open government. The private sector and the public are not enemies. They are partners. And I repeat, the private sector and the public are not enemies. They are partners. We should not behave as if one is the opposition and the other is government. We are one. Indeed, the government of Kenya and WFP have so far demonstrated how this aspect of open government, food security, and nutrition. Last year alone, WFP directly impacted the lives of 1.6 million Kenyans through its diverse programs. Refugees and drought-affected citizens, smallholder farmers, and people participating in resilience programs have all benefited from WFP's commitments to our country. Without ever in 40 years. Meanwhile, what remains endearing is that the breadth and depth of this partnership enables us to leverage on this momentum as we copt more partners. Indeed, what is most attractive about the new Kenya Country Strategic Plan, CSP, is that is for 2023 to 2027, is that it is born out of thorough consultations and is deeply aligned with Kenya's priorities. The CSP addresses our systems. Again, the CSP, which is aligned with WFP's Global Strategic Plan for 2022-2025 strategy, complements Kenya's government's fourth mid-term plan for 2023 to 2027. The government's bottom-up economic transformation agenda for the 2023-2027 planning cycle and the United Nations Sustainable Development. Needless to say, the fact that the plan's development process incorporated inclusivity, involving stakeholders at all levels, gives us the confidence to say this integrated plan nutrition. My sentiments are not what you meant, that during the life of the just been close to $780 million to support its activities in Kenya. In the same period, WFP made a strategic shift from delivering. It is therefore pleasant to know that going forward, the CSP period, the WFP seeks $1.4 billion to bolster its activities in our country. This financial commitment speaks volumes about WFP's dedication to Kenya and our people. One of the core resulting strengths of open government is the co-funding approach of our partnership with WFP. This approach, in which resources from partners are complemented by government funds, allows us to support identified priorities jointly, affirms our commitment to deepen our collaboration with development partners. We also encourage our partners to buy into WFP's strategic shift towards enabling capacities that would then be matched by longer-term commitments for more sustainable, complete with clearer tracking of government and donor funds to demonstrate our increasing support for these joint priorities. Indeed, our joint priority engagement has enabled WFP to make significant strides in helping us strengthen food systems and resilience. Prone areas, of which 370,000 receive cash transfers and about 50,000 in addition to delivery of an integrated and other value chain dollar invested in resilience in Kenya. By focusing on resilience, we are not just reacting to crisis and resilient economy. I therefore urge, the moment you take the eye off the ball, you miss the ball. But instead, redouble its efforts, its focus on resilience building, a shift of our people, and the sustainability of our shared development goals. Recognize, appreciate the integration of climate lens in WFP's programs for the CASP 2023-2027. Climate change, thanks to the lead role taken by President William Ruto in global climate change matters. On recognition that the climate crisis is an urgent issue that requires concerted efforts from all sectors, including humanitarian organizations. By building resilience, we are determined to pursue and implement initiatives aimed at Kenya National Adaptation Plan of 2015 to 2030 and the Green Climate Fund, which aim to reduce the cost of climate change. We are not about to be ashamed in appreciating WFP's partnership in anticipating, restoring, protecting, and energizing communities in the face of climate disasters. The ambitious measures you have taken in early warning and preventive action, nature-based solutions, climate risk insurance, and promoting sustainable energy solutions are the standard operating procedures in our quest. I urge all other partners to join in this quest and push these boundaries. Helping Kenya, I therefore call for a global multi-stakeholder approach in tackling the climate crisis. For those working in Kenya, let us bridge the gap between humanitarian assistance, development support, and climate spaces. We must change current systems to cope with the impacts of a rapidly changing climate. As government, we already acknowledge partnerships are paramount in realizing these urgent shifts. I therefore urge the global community to continue fostering strategic collaborations with governments. United Nations organizations, multilateral climate funds, thematic platforms, and research partners must be joined in the singular purpose of tackling the climate crisis facing us. Only by working together can we turn the tide and build a resilient future in the face of the climate crisis. It will not be business as usual if we have to jointly achieve results. I similarly call upon life, but thrive in the face of adversity. Meanwhile, I believe WFP's supply chain capacities is one of the strengths that we need to leverage. As we support each other to build local supply chains and infrastructure, you have the commitment of the government to continue maintaining Kenya as a supply chain hub, through which you can effectively support the region. Incidentally, the excellent working relationship between WFP, the Kenya Ports Authority, and the Kenya Revenue Authority enabled last year's transiting South Sudan, Rwanda, Burundi, Eastern DRC bought about 37,800 metric. I also understand that in 2022 alone, over $35 million were paid to local transporters in the amount of food purchased and logistics contracted. This means that the impact of the work of the WFP in Kenya is tremendously supportive to our economy in creating a force multiplier effect for transformative change. Before I conclude, because we'll share this speech, please look at the statistics. Go through those numbers very carefully and look at the statistics, because this is something we always miss to tell Kenyans. And comedy of politicians, and we forget to capture the essence of a session like this. The impact on our economy is huge. They're telling us that because of the crisis in some of the countries, this is projected is massive. These are the messages I'd like to ask my partners in the fourth estate. Let us partner and start selling hope to the people. One of the other messages that I would want to bring out here is that capture the figure that WFP spent 69 million. How do we support our local farmer? Government cannot buy the entire food from the farmer. Other people have to step in. So when WFP comes and spends $69 million, bumper harvest, and I've always been taking your purchases locally. The offtake from the livestock farmer must be stepped up of recovery. We should take them seriously, and these are the punchlines and messages that must get to our people, that partnerships of this nature are extreme. We have talked of a program that is being developed. It's not yet mature, but it is in the works. Block, some of you will be conversant with. That, again, is going to help. The strength and support under the school feeding program is something that we can look at. Kenya, through partnerships of this nature, I thought those I could delegate, but on this one, just to give the stamp of approval on how significant this is, this partnership is, that moment. So I thank you all and God bless.
Really, quite frankly, heartwarming rendition of our partnership. So I would just like to thank the Prime Secretary for being here and for really speaking to us. I think you will see good things coming both out of this session and out of our partnership for the next 4 years. Thank you so much. That there is someone coming to instruct exactly how that will be done. So don't move. And we will tell you where to go.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Makofi ya WFP. Wapi makofi ya Prime Cabinet Secretary of the Republic of Kenya. Asante sana. Now, Your Excellency, with your permission, we are getting